Thank you, Sarah Jane, and a very good morning, everyone. Really great to see everybody. I mean, for those that I can see, I mean, lots of you just have the black screen on. Well, that's back to the old days in COVID time, right? That you were just looking at a couple of black screens. So if you have the opportunity, I always just like to look at faces, you know? So I actually feel that I'm having a conversation with somebody, right? So I can see Bob. Hey, Bob, do me a favor, drive safely in the car, right? Eyes on the road, please. But for those of you out there that are, on the streets, in the office, somewhere, wherever you are, on the camera, do me a favor so that we can see each other, and that would be just great. You know, we are real estate professionals, and we know that conversations and face to face is very important for us. Oh, David, also you drive safe, please. You know, I see that you're in the car, so I mean, you are all real estate. Some of you are on the road, so that is okay. And at the same time, I'm just going to take you through a quick session where I just want to touch on a couple of things. I know a lot of you are what they call within the emerging leaders, or with the people that could be future branch managers, people that are going to lead teams. And I've been asked to just address a little bit about, leadership, management, and at the same time, hopefully can answer a couple of your questions. And questions is really what it's all about, right? I mean, I always tell the people that I train, and I'll go into myself in a little while, I always tell myself and to the people that I train and do workshops, I say, you are always one question away to your next transformation, right? You're one question away. So what I would like you to do, just as I keep talking, but in the next 1 to 2 minutes, right? I just want you to think for a bit, right? What is that one question for you? What is that one question that you're sitting on, that you're thinking like, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to see what is what's the answer to this, right? Something that might be a challenge, could be a obstacle, could be something you're dealing with, could be something small, could be something big, could be something in your career, could be something personal, could be something between you and a colleague, could be something between you and a client. Anything. Every one of us has this sitting question that we're trying to resolve, that we're trying to get an answer to. And like I said, I always tell the people that I work with, you're just one question away from your next transformation. So do me a favor, if you're up for it, put that question in the chat box, right? Just put it there. I'll address it in a little while. I'm going to go through a short presentation, but put your question in the chat box. Could be easy, could be simple, or could be very deep, could be very hard. And I promise you, I'll get an answer to you in a little while. So if you don't know, you can just go to the chat box. I'm seeing the chat box right here on the right side of my screen. I'll be seeing your questions coming in, and I'll be addressing them a little bit more towards the end. And if you feel that you want to personally ask me, you can also keep that to the end so that we can address it by then. So use the chat box for any questions, anything you like. Let's just get started. So yes, my name is Taco Heidinga, and I know looking at all your faces right now, you already have one question for me. And that question is Taco a real name? Is that something like, did your parents really like Mexican food? What was up with the taco, right? And I'm just telling you, yes, Taco is a real name. Born in the Netherlands, lived all across the world, and now these days living in Malaysia, beautiful Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm sure some of you have visited that before. And back in 2017, started a company called Prop Coach, basically really putting all my hard work, passion, and dedication in educating real estate agents, real estate leaders, real estate executives. As long as you put the word real estate in front of it, I'm there. I mean, I don't do insurance, I don't do automotive, I don't do MLM. I just do real estate because it's my background. Been doing it for 16 years. And at the same time, I saw that there was a big need in all of Asia in working on the soft skills for real estate professionals out there. And now these days we do trainings all over the world, even in Europe and recently even in the United States, where we stand up in front of people like yourself, addressing everything that helps us to grow in this business, because this business is an interesting business, and we always have to look at it. Okay, what's the next step? I always say these days in real estate, it's about three things only, right? Being innovative, as our business keeps changing, not only on a technical level, technology is just a small piece to it. Innovation is all about how do we do our business and how do we make things better for ourselves, for our clients, and for our colleagues, of course. So that's innovation. Then the second thing is collaboration, right? How do we collaborate with each other? How do we work with each other so that we do a lot of things that can leverage on each other, that we can make more money together, that we can make sure that we address our clients together, and that we as a brand, or basically in how the market looks at us as real estate professionals, do the right thing. And the final thing is something that I'm really passionate about. That is an unparalleled customer service. That customer service is really the key to this business. Whoever treats their clients the best, with a lot of care and with a lot of passion, that's the great winner in this business. It always has been, and that will stay for a very, very long time. Unparalleled customer service, just giving the extra mile, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Theodore Roosevelt was kind of right. People don't care in how much you know until they know in how much you care. It's about how much you care for the people that really show in, how well you do for your clients. But when it comes to team leadership, taking care of your teams, it's kind of the same thing, right? It's all about how well do you take care of your people. And a lot of leaders out there in the world, unfortunately, think that leadership is all about them. Is all about, how do I benefit in becoming a manager? How do I benefit in becoming a leader? What's in it for me? But that's the big transformation when you go from sales to leadership. I mean, sales is such a beautiful thing to do. I mean, a lot of people in the world think that sales is a dirty word, but I see sales as a way of life. Everything on this planet is sales. It's not only about, in real estate, where you sell a property. Even our own children are selling to us. When a child comes to you and say, "Can I get a cookie?" You say, "No, no, you don't get a cookie." Can I get a cookie, please?" "No, no, you don't. You're not getting a cookie right now." "Can I please get a cookie?" "Okay, okay, I'll give you a cookie." What just happened there? Your own child just sold to you, right? He used his emotions, he used his passion, he used everything to basically get that cookie. What is basically the sales principles that we're dealing with in real estate is the same. It's an emotion-based business where you go out there every single day, standing, showing properties, doing auctions, talking with your clients, buyers, sellers, all over the place. And it's all about an emotional game. And now there's this transition that is coming where instead of talking to sellers and clients, now you're going to talk to other people that also want to become successful in the real estate, just like yourself. People that want to grow big, that want to make it, that maybe even want to become better than you were one day, right? At the end, it's all about, now it's not about me. Now it's about the people that I'm going to take care of, right? Your teams, the people that you're going to manage, the people that you're going to push forward. And you know what? There's a lot of struggle in leadership out there, because what I'm talking about is you're not just managing any person. You're not just managing any guy from the street. You are transforming people in becoming high performers, right? You're transforming people in becoming high performance, right? So I'm going to just pull up some slides, but before I start that, I just want to get a few keywords from you. In what does high performance mean to you? What is a high performer? What does that mean? What does high performance mean to you? Just give me a few keywords. Just go to the chat box. Just want to make sure that you can still hear me and can still see me. But at the same time, I really would love your answer in what is high performance to you? What does it mean to yourself, to your teams? Just put it in the chat box. In the meantime, I'm just going to pull up some slides here. You can just go to the chat box and I will just see if I can just pull up some slides here. Let me get them. Okay, here we go. Just looking for the slides quickly. I just had them ready. So high performance, we see a couple of answers coming in already. High performance is a lot about successful, high energy and focus. I really like that. High energy and focus is true. High energy focus. Exceed expectations. Great answer. Really like that one. Exceed expectations. So high performance is a lot. And I mean, you can go to literature or you can go anywhere you like. I mean, high performance is a lot about many things, but basically I just want to go through 6 steps that it's really about. And I hope you can still see me, you can still hear me, and you can still see the slides. High performance, right? So in high performance, it's a lot about you doing of course the right thing in terms of what helps people to become high performers, right? So it's high performance is based on habits, right? High performance is based on lifestyle. So it's a lifestyle that you have to get yourself into based on the habits to get into the lifestyle so that you're having a high performing business, a high performing life. High performance is, can be developed, right? It's not something that, oh, that person is born a high performer and that person is not born a high performer. No, you can become a high performer by putting in the habits and committing yourself to the lifestyle. But in order to do that, you need kind of a roadmap, right? So kind of to see what is the blueprint then to a high performer, because high performance has been done before by other successful people, by people that like yourself, the tips and the tricks in becoming a high performer. So can we put that into a blueprint? High performance is a tool. I always say to people, okay, you want to become successful? Yes. Are you willing to do the work? Yes. And are you willing to become a high performer? They say, well, once I become successful, I become a high performer. No, it's the other way around. You first have to become a high performer in order to become successful. And then high performance is a guide. And high performance is not for everyone, right? It's not that everybody here in this world, unfortunately, I wish that everybody could become a high performer, but high performance is not for everyone because there's a lot of dedicated work, a lot of habits, a certain lifestyle, and not everybody will commit to that. And that is okay. I mean, imagine if we would be all fighting for that same high performance. It's not for everyone. High performance is all about self-development. Invest more into yourself than you do in anything else. Invest more in yourself, right? Education, learning, growing, all of those things is all self-investment, and by far can be the best investment that you will ever do. I mean, people invest in real estate, people invest in funds, stocks, everything out there. But at the end of the day, you would have to understand that the best investment is always the investment in yourself. And as you become managers and you become leaders, that is also something that you would need to push towards the people that you deal with every single day, the people that you're working with. So it's all about body and mind. And it's, of course, about mastering yourself, your emotions, your beliefs, your struggles, your obstacles, right? And that is something that happens a lot, right? Where you deal with challenges every single day, and those challenges now are going to be multiplied because the people that are going to be within your team, they are going to bring the challenges to you, right? So in order to kind of, before we go to some questions, right, we want to kind of go through the steps of high performance. So one of the first things that I would definitely recommend in high performance is to always seek clarity, right? Everything starts with having a clear mind, being super clear, by setting goals, by, setting targets. What is it that you expect of yourself and what do you expect of the people? When I started a lot of training all around the world, I always say the same thing. I say, if you want to understand real estate, you need to understand business. If you want to understand business, you need to understand people. And if you want to understand people, you need to understand yourself, because you are also people. And you play an important part in how you communicate with your teams, and you can communicate with the people out there on the streets. And anything that anybody wants in this world is wants to understand and wants to see clear. It's based off one of our highest human needs that we like to call certainty. People want to be certain, they want to be sure, they want to be guaranteed, they want to want to have the confidence that in what they're doing and the direction that they're taking is, first of all, confident enough to take, and second is super clear. And that is one thing that leaders need to give. They need to, create a path where they can show, demonstrate, where they can walk the talk, and at the same time can inspire. Any great leader out there, any great manager out there is there to inspire, because inspiring leaders are the most extraordinary leaders out there. And as they inspire, they show clarity, because they show people how they can put themselves into the position of high performance, right? What skills do you want to develop and demonstrate, and how do you want to behave socially? You remember that I said high performance is a lifestyle. How do you dress? How do you talk? How do you go around with people? That's all about how you behave socially, and what service do you want to provide. One of the things that I quickly want to mention here is just how well I've been taken care of in the last couple of days. I came here a couple of days ago, and Chris Dobby and Sharon and Peter have been taking care of us so well. And Chris told me just months before I came here to New Zealand, he says, you know what? We tend to take very good care of our people. And you know what? I can see it in every single thing that they have been doing for me, and how they do everything here at Barfoot and Thompson. Right? But it gives a clear mindset. It gives a clear lifestyle. It's like, this is how we treat people. This is how we go around with people. We just take care of them. And that is really in how clear you want to make that vision, how clear you want to make that purpose as you as a leader, also when you talk to your people. Leadership and going around there is all about, maintaining energy, because it takes a lot of energy. It takes so much energy out of you, right? And especially for those leaders and managers that, have like doing sales and doing leadership next to each other. Now, for some companies, that's not even allowed, right? Once you go into the management position, that is where, sales goes out of the window, and you have to start taking care of people. But at the same time, you also have to realize that that doesn't shift the energy any less than what you did with sales. It's just a different purpose right now, where out there you were taking care of clients and helping them to sell off their property or help them to buy property. And now you're helping teams, of multiple people reach the same goals or even higher goals than in the real estate that you did before. And that takes a lot of energy, because there's conversations, there's obstacles, there's challenges, there's a lot of things that will come through the day where they will look at you and say, hey, leader, could you please help? And you cannot be the leader like, oh, no, not another one. Oh, my God, another problem. Oh, my God, another challenge. Yes, that can take a lot of energy from you. So a good leader and a good manager knows that he needs to maintain his energy. He needs to understand that as he's running the business, as he's running everything around him, that his energy is his currency. His energy is everything he got to basically give that clarity and show the right direction. So maintain that energy, take good care of yourself, especially when it comes to exercise, nutrition, and of course, rest. Sleep is such an important thing. Now, I don't want to say that you have to sleep all day, but having a good night's sleep will do everything for you the next day. So maintain that energy as a leader, very important. Then, of course, we have to raise necessity. This is really, really a key to becoming a leader of high performers. The question always is, why do we do what we do? Why do we do? It's not about what we do, it's why we do what we do. Because why is the answer to the question of what is basically our purpose to the business, the meaning. In the beginning, it's all about money. We have to earn money because society is asking us to make money, right? If you want to have a car, want to have a house, you want to take a bus ride, you want to go for a trip, you want to have some food, it all requires us to have money. So basic necessity right now in current society is money. But once you make a little bit of money, then the question is like, oh, well, so why am I in this business again? And that is all about raising necessity. And necessity is all about, why is it necessary for me to succeed? Why is it necessary for me to go to the next level? And if you as a manager know how to do that with every single individual in your team by asking them not the question is, hey, why are you not doing your work? No, you just need to ask them, who needs you to be on your A game right now? Who needs you to be on your A game? And basically meaning who needs you to become successful? Because becoming successful is not a responsibility only towards yourself. It's also a responsibility to a lot of people around you, the people in your families, the people of friends, a lot of people around you. We all have somebody else out there that needs us to become successful. And that is the necessity. That's the big why of why do you need to succeed? Can be your team, can be your peers, can be customers. At the end of the day, to be a leader, your role is to prime your mental ability to perform an activity well. So it's all up here. I mean, business success, becoming successful is 80% mindset and 20% just the technicalities of it. I mean, I teach the technicalities of communication, building rapport, doing certain things in a certain way. But if the confidence and the attitude is not supporting all of those technicalities, it will still fail. So it's really a mental game. And me as a leader, managing my own team, managing the people around me, I'm busy 80% of the time just getting my people mentally ready. And the question is always the same. Who needs you to be on your A game today? Who needs you to be on your A game? Tell me. Tell me today. You guys, all of you in the group, we have 45 people here. Think by yourself. Think and ask yourself that every morning that same question. Who needs me to be in my A game today? It's my wife, my children, it's my parents, it's my friends, it's my customers. Who needs me so that I need to become successful? It cannot be a question. It has to be for real. It must happen. It's not a question if it will happen. It must happen. You can see I'm quite passionate about this. Sorry if I let myself go a bit, but this is important stuff. Okay, next part. High performance is, of course, everything about productivity. Productivity meaning, okay, how do you stay productive throughout your day? Of course, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. I always say this to my team, right? What's the main thing? And then they say, well, this is the main thing. Okay, well, keep the main thing so the main thing is the main thing. And that is always thinking about what is important and what is not important. In some of my sessions and trainings, I teach about something that is called purposely procrastination. Purposely procrastination doesn't mean that you have to procrastinate everything. It means that certain things of the tasks that you do need to be procrastinated because you need to start focusing on the main thing. And if I go all across the world and I train everywhere in the world, and now luckily been finally landing here in beautiful Auckland, New Zealand, I'm quite sure that this is also an issue with a lot of mid-performance, low-performance people, is that they simply don't do the main thing. And the main thing is what? Prospecting, marketing, reaching out to people out there, making those calls, having those communications, making those connections, expanding that network and converting that and becoming your sellers and buyers for the day. That's the main thing. I always tell people that's how the business works. If you don't focus at least 4 or 5 hours every single day on doing the main thing, the business doesn't move. If you go out there, social media posting, doing some admin, doing some research work, I mean, all of them are important. But if you have not done the main thing, it's not going to matter at all for your business. Would you agree with me? So I would say to the team, 5 moves ahead. Look at the next 5 moves of your day, of your week, and of your month. Right? So 5 moves ahead of your day, of your week, of your month. So that means that during your day, the next 5 moves that you're going to make from today onwards. So after this call, what are your next 5 moves, right? What are your next 5 things that you need to do to keep the main thing, to keep the business moving? And as a leader, you need to teach that to the people. I never say, tell them what to do, just let them teach themselves what to do in putting down 5 moves ahead. And then you look at it and say, why are you focusing on, going for, a picture taking or research while you should be talking to customers, getting in more listings, talking with more buyers, because that's the main thing. And then the next thing is, of course, focusing on things like pushing forward for things like expansion of the network. Who are you going to communicate with? How are you going to bring 5 new connections into your database every single day? So these people, become on this nurture system, and then eventually you will be able to expand yourself. So moves ahead a day, and then 5 moves ahead this week. What are the other 5 things this week that are going to be the main thing that are important? Another thing is 5 moves ahead for this month. What are those 5 key projects, tasks, to-dos that are important to finalize this month to keep the productivity and performance going? So the next thing that I also would like to say, the 5 second rule. 5 second rule is, is such a there's this beautiful book that is written by Mel Robbins, and she writes about the 5 second rule. And I've been practicing this since I read the book, and I can tell you it has given me great fortune, it has given me great stuff. And 5 second rule basically means every time an impulse hits you, an idea, or something that you want to do, you just decide to do it within 5 seconds, because the brain will kill the idea if you wait longer than 5 seconds. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're at the network event and there's a lot of people out there, and just a little bit far down the alley, you see somebody or down the room, you see somebody that you would like to talk to. Right? The moment you decide that you want to talk to that person, you have exactly 5 seconds to walk up to that person and go talk with him or her. If you don't do it within 5 seconds, your brain will find a reason to kill that idea. That's how the brain works, because the brain is always protecting itself, right? It's protecting itself to get hurt. It's protecting itself to get embarrassed. It's protecting itself to basically not do the thing. So that's why you have to do it within 5 seconds, because then you don't give a chance to the brain to kill the idea. Who here in the room, by raise of hands, if you're honest with me, likes to snooze in the morning? Snooze, alarm clock goes off and you just click, let's just sleep in for another 10 minutes. Or some people just say 2 minutes, right? They say, oh, those 2 minutes are going to make a difference, right? So that is like we are the snoozers of the world, right? We like to snooze our alarm clocks in the morning. But just try it for the next week. What you're going to do once that first alarm hits off, right? Just give yourself 5 seconds to stand up. So you open your eyes and you're like, oh, that's the alarm. Oh no, I have to wake up already. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just get up. Just get up, right? And that is basically because if you don't do it within 5 seconds, again, the brain will kill the idea and will just let you stay in bed for another 10 minutes, for another 20 minutes, whatever your snooze button is going to be, right? But get yourself out of bed. 5 second rule, that is high performance. The 5 minute journal. If I could recommend anything to anybody on productivity level, is to have a 5 minute journal. And what does it basically mean? That every morning you take 5 minutes to just write down your ideas. What are you worried about? What are your obstacles? What is everything going on in your life? Just take 5 minutes to write it down, to kind of download it from your mind and put it on paper, because it's going to free up a lot of space for inspiration, creativity, solution, problem solving. Those parts of the brain will be activated when you release that information back on a piece of paper, and you just have to do it 5 minutes a day. So these 3 things, right? 5 moves ahead, 5 second rule, and 5 minute journal is going to increase productivity. And productivity is equal to progress. And progress is equal to happiness. And that happiness, that is what we want for people, right? Remember this, progress always equals happiness. Anytime we accomplish or achieve something, it gives us a sense of happiness. It releases that dopamine and we just get happy. So practice it. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Develop influence. As a leader, we have to develop influence as we want to demonstrate things to people. We want to explain things to people. We want to demonstrate them. We want to show them, and then eventually want to inspire them, right? So, you don't want to be the person that tells people what to do. That's just being an annoying manager. That's just being somebody that, oh, why does he keep telling me what to do, right? Nobody in this modern society, all around the world, wants to be told what to do. But if you can teach people how to think, now you're becoming what I call a transformational leader. And that's what we teach in our workshops, right? Transformational leadership, because you have autocratic leadership, you have democratic leadership, and you have something that I like to call transformational leadership. That is the leader that is helping people in their team going from A to B. Transform from A to B, if you will. And the best way to do that is to influence people. And how can you best influence people? Teach people how to think, and you will change their lives. Don't tell them what to do, teach them how to think. Teach people how to keep educating themselves for continued growth. Make education a core part for your people. Make it part of the meetings. Make it part of everything you do, so that every single time you meet together, you come together, something is there to learn. Teach people the power of failure and the beauty of challenges. What I like to call, you need to honor the struggle, right? And tell people that it's a normal thing. Because sometimes people get faced with challenges and then they're like, why is this happening to me? But it's happening to everyone. We all face challenges. We all face obstacles. So when we face obstacles and challenges together, we get inspired. And teach people how to handle change and adapt to any situation. I mean, change, people don't really like change from their own individual state of mind. But when you go through change together, now that is something that I really call transformational. And that it brings in a lot of influence, where you can bring in influence. And the final one that I would like to give to you before we go to some questions is, you need to give yourself the power of demonstrating courage, right? And I'm not saying to you that every one of you has to be super high risk takers, right? I always say calculated risks are always very good, but you have to demonstrate courage, right? And especially when I talk to teams and I walk into companies, it's all about these 4 key aspects, right? It's, first of all, give the opportunity for all your team members to speak up. That you cannot let them have the feeling that they're not allowed to speak up. Your best team members will become great and successful if you give them the opportunity to speak up. If they're allowed to speak up and voice out their concerns, voice out their challenges, voice out their obstacles, that is where you give them the most opportunity to grow. Honor the struggle. I said it earlier, right? Honor that struggle towards yourself, but also to your team. Don't overpromise them that real estate is just this walk through the park and everybody's just going to be great and make a lot of money. If you come tomorrow to the summit, I'll tell you a beautiful story about myself, about my first 1.5 years in real estate. And I can tell you it wasn't really pretty. I was really struggling. It was really tough, very hard. I had to learn a lot of things, but I had to honor the struggle. You have to get dirty. You have to get, roll up those sleeves, right? You have to get yourself dirty, help those people. And as you help them and as you help them grow, they will thank you forever. And overcome the obstacles, right? Help each other to overcome obstacles. Don't hope, don't think that people can just do it all by themselves. They will always need a little bit of your help and your support. And you will educate them, teach them to become as independent as possible, but help them to overcome challenges. And even if they become super successful one day, they become your top performers, never ever let them go without a weekly conversation and ask them the same question again, same 2 questions again. Question number 1, hey, who needs you to be on your A game today? And 2, what is your current struggle or challenge or obstacle that I can help you with? What is it that you need? And if you do that every single week, even with your highest top performers, they're going to feel like, wow, what a great leader. What a great person to work with. Going to stay here forever. So I hope I gave you these 6 steps, right? It's really, it looks simple, but it's not, right? It's, seek the clarity, maintain the energy, raise necessity, increase productivity, develop influence, and demonstrate courage. And, if you want to have more training about this, and if you, would like to see more videos about this, I actually have a great little thing for you. That is our YouTube channel. Just go to my name, Taco Heidinga, and I have, I don't know how many videos there on leadership, on, sales skills, relationship building, listings, anything. I've been doing this since 2017. So you can imagine how many videos are there. And they will be free forever. So you just watch them, look at them, and just, if you like the video, just do me a favor to actually leave a comment. I actually have a nice book that I brought with me, Knock Knock, who's there. It's a very small book. You see how thin it is? Super thin. You know why? Because I was a real estate agent and I never read books because I was too busy, talking to clients. So I call this a night cabinet book. You put this on your night cabinet and every night you just read one chapter, then you go to sleep and you wake up and boom, you're much smarter and ready to attack the world. And I'm bringing some books with me, but if you would like to have the digital version of this, I would love to give you that as a gift, if that's okay with you. So you can see under the book, you can see some of my social media channels. You can see Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or even TikTok. You just have to write into me. You say, hey, this is AJ from Barfoot and Thompson. Can you please send me the digital copy of your book? Would love to read it, and I will send it right there to you. You choose your best social media channel you would like to reach out to me. I would recommend if you're on Instagram, then you get a real quick reply because I'm on Instagram all day doing all sorts of things. But if you prefer another channel, you don't have Instagram, you can reach me on one of the other channels. So that's for the book. I also have a hard copy with me that I'm going to give out. Make sure to be at the summit tomorrow, and I'll be giving out some of these books as gifts. But if you want a digital version, you just go out there and just reach out to me on social media, and I'm super happy to send the link to you. So I'm going to stop presenting on the slides here right now, and I'm going to open up to some questions. First things that I'm going to do is, whoa, everybody went back on, oh yeah, some people are still here. Whoa, there's this autopilot. Do you guys also see that in the chat box? There's this autopilot. I don't know who Otter is, but he's some kind of a pilot because he's sending a lot of messages, I can see. I'm just going to see if some questions came in earlier when I asked that. Ooh, this autopilot is a nice guy. He filled up the whole chat box. Okay, let me see if wow, this is a lot of autopilot. Hi, Taco. Hey, what is Wallace? Wallace had a question for me. Great, Wallace de Costa, thank you. What is one thing you would have to be done, what you would gone back in time and change? Okay, great question, Wallace. If I would have gone back in time and changed anything, it would have been that there's a lot of things that I would have changed, but I don't regret anything. But one of the things that I would have changed is realizing the fact that in order to become productive every single day, there needs to be a certain input in your day to get an output. And I think in the beginning of my career, I didn't realize in how much massive action I had to do every single day on a consistent basis to get that output. We are all responsible for our own success. We're all responsible for the outputs that happen to our day. It doesn't mean that challenges don't hit us. But at the end of the day, it's not about what happens to you. It's all about what happens to you and what you're going to do with it. And I realized at a certain point in my career, if I don't consistently make those calls, if I don't consistently reach out to my clients every single day, follow up to my prospects, if I don't do that consistently every day, I'm not going to get the output and the outcome that I'm hoping for, right? That outcome is not miraculously going to happen to you. It's going to happen because of you. So if I would go back in time, I would have put in more effort in the beginning of my career in becoming consistent in what is the main thing, right? Main thing, connect with 5 people every single day, reach out to at least 10 clients every single day, follow up at least 1 to 2 hours every single day, and get that calendar filled with as many appointments as I physically can, right? Because whoever has the most appointments wins. So that's really great question, Wallace. Another thing that I would probably have changed maybe some earlier in my career is that I would have realized that I cannot all do it alone, right? In the beginning of my career, I always thought I could do everything alone. But the best investment that I ever made in my life, except for all the trainings that I followed, the workshop, because that was the education in myself, but one of the best education or one of the best investments I ever made was the investment in an assistant, right? And that assistant that is taking so much off my hands, right? That is helping me with so many things that I don't want to be busy with during the day. So I can spend more time talking to clients, doing deals, helping people to grow, helping people to succeed, doing these trainings here in New Zealand. Because if I would not have that assistant, I would have to add in my admin work and, and doing all sorts of stuff, paperwork, that is not going to help me grow my business. So that one, Wallace, I would have done earlier if I would know how much more return I would get on that. Great question. So any other questions for now? Not really. Maybe we can go to some questions. Maybe some people here in the room have some question. What you could do is you can just, I guess, unmute yourself, or you can put it in the chat box if you also would like that, and can ask me any question if you want. Is there anybody that has a burning question or an obstacle or something you would like to talk about? Please, yes, just sing. You are raising your hands. Please unmute yourself and feel free to ask your question.
Hi, Jaco. It was very good question. You put it to the team as a manager or a team leader. What is something I can help you with? If someone in your team comes with a problem that he or she is continuously going into the field but not being successful in getting any listing, what would be one example you can share?
So if somebody is going out there in the field, is getting the same results and not getting a listing, and what would you advise to them? That's the question, Justin.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good question. I think it was Einstein that said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Right. So when somebody goes out there in the field and does something and comes back with the same results over and over again, there must be something changed in the process or in the way that the person does it. Right. And again, it comes back to, good training, setting the right expectations, preparation, and then mentoring them through that process. And this person obviously needs to work on listing presentations, right? And how they go out there, talk with people, and kind of give them the confidence in that they are dealing with the right agent to bring in that listing. And that could have a lot to do with, of course, like I said, the technicalities. So technicalities as in, how do you present the listing presentation? How do you, what are the data, the background? How do you get the information? But most of the time, it's all about how do you build a good relationship and good rapport with that customer, right? And what I would do, and one of the great things that I as a manager used to do with my real estate team. Now I run a training and workshop company, but when I was running a real estate team, every single morning I would bring the team together and I would let them role play. And as I was looking at them as they were role playing, I was looking at how confidently were they communicating towards each other. And I always could see the key issues in the confidence of the individual, right? In how confidently they were communicating with another. I mean, your customers want to have a confident agent. They don't want to have a smart agent. They don't want to have a, ignorant, arrogant agent. They want to have a confident agent, right? A person that once he or she walks through that door, immediately they can see, I think this person knows what he's doing. I know what she's doing, right? So that is something, just saying there is a lot of work that has to go into it to help that person bring up that confidence in order to go out there and bring in listings, right? So again, it's 80% mindset and attitude. Is that agent willing to do the work and willing to put in the time to educate himself, to become that confident? A lot of role playing, going out there, the more you communicate with people, the better you become at it. And I also have a story for you tomorrow about that at the summit. But at the same time, it's also for you, just saying, as you are managing this person, is, okay, what do we need to change in your approach in order to help you to bring in that listing? And that's going down to how confident is the agent? How are they currently presenting? Let them present to you, right? So that you can see how they're presenting and start tweaking it until you think they're confident enough to go back out there and start talking with those clients again. Does it make sense, Jessing?
Yes, and Teku, I also appreciate what you said about stop learning, start thinking.
Stop learning, start thinking. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I love it. Great. Thank you, Jessing. Great question. Wonderful. We still have some time left. So if there's any other question that I can help with, somebody that has a burning question, or like I said, you're one question away to your next transformation. If you feel shy to just mute yourself, you can also put it in the chat box. Sarah Jane raised her hand. Yes, please, Sarah.
Hi, Taco. Sorry, my camera's not working on this new computer I've got, so excuse my non-camera working here. So just in regards to leadership and management, some people make good managers, but not necessarily good leaders. What's sort of in your toolbox to step up that game from being a good manager to then inspiring and motivating people to be good leaders?
Great question. Thank you so much for that question. And you're absolutely right. Leadership. You have managers that go into the field of management, right? With the intention of, okay, I'm going to manage people. But just look at yourself and think for yourself for a little while. Do you yourself like to be managed, or do you like to be inspired? Right? Do you like to work for me, or would you like to work together with me? Right? Those are key aspects in how the people in your teams are going to look up to you and are going to look as a leader towards you. And that is really the key difference within leadership. John Maxwell writes a lot about this in his books, right? That, a lot of leaders will explain stuff to you, right? And that is what basic management kind of tells us in the books, right? We need to be able to explain a lot to people. But the more that we explain, the more that it feels like we're being managed, right? Because you're kind of telling me what to do. You're not really, demonstrating to me what to do. And the key part in where leadership comes in is kind of, for me, the extraordinary level of where people really get motivated to do the things outside of their comfort zone, is where you as a person can inspire people. And that is where the beauty of leadership comes in. You want to inspire people to do the right thing. And another thing about leadership is once you get to that level of leadership, managers, a lot of managers out there in the world, and I'm not saying here in only New Zealand, all around there in the world, they go into a management position for their own gains, right? It's like, it's all about me. I'm the manager now, and you work for me. So the team is basically now helping me to succeed. And that is just set up for failure. I mean, there are a lot of big corporate companies out there in the world where you can see this going wrong every single day. They lose a lot of their young people and their teams, because they say, oh, but you work for me, right? You need to help me to become successful. Now, real leadership is helping your people to become successful so you can become successful, right? It's the other way around. So where you emphasize a lot on helping your people grow, helping your people to transform, putting a lot of time and effort, going to the people and helping them overcome their challenges so that they become successful, will automatically make you become successful as a manager, and especially as a leader. And as a manager, you can always take credit for it. But the beauty of real leadership is that leaders never take the credit for the success of their team members. Never. They always say, you did it yourself, and I'm just proud of you. But deep down inside, you know that your leadership influenced them in becoming successful, but you never take credit for it. Because the most beautiful thing that you can give to somebody is them to succeed, and letting them think that they all did it by themselves, and they were the ones that were able to walk that path and get to that level of achievement. And you as a leader just sit back and just say, I know I was part of that. I know I was part of that journey. But to see that smile on his face or of her face, and to see that they have achieved it, and they walk up on stage and they get their reward, and they just are so happy, part of their team, you as a leader never take credit for that. You let them take the credit for that. And that is truly leadership there. So that is how you can help people. And as a manager, don't make it about you. Don't make it about your success. You will become successful. That is what management and leadership is all about. Your management style has to be taking care of people, helping them to transform, become a transformational leader, help people to get from A to B, set their goals, set their targets, help them to achieve it, and you will have the best career experience of a lifetime. So thank you for that question, Sarah. I hope that answered it.
That's great. Thank you.
Yes, AJ. Wow, there you are. Great. What mindset you need to be a leader from salesperson? Main points of difference is to take care of. Does it affect your current role being a salesperson? Absolutely. What a great question, AJ. You need to understand something very important. Great salespeople not necessarily become great leaders, but great leaders not necessarily are the best salespeople. That is something you need to understand, that those are not linked with each other. I see great leaders in real estate that weren't the top salespeople of their teams. And in a lot of times, in a lot of real estate companies, we have this hierarchy of, you need to become a top salesperson before you become a great leader. But actually, if you look at the behavior patterns, the personalities, the characteristics between a salesperson and a leader, they're completely different from each other, right? So there's a lot of shift and a lot of challenge there, if I may say so. I mean, I hope one day all of you are looking at those faces that have their screen on, you're going to look like great leaders. But that doesn't mean that you're going to become a great leader. Because at the end of the day, great salespeople have to understand one thing, that sales, unfortunately, but it's the truth, and I'm always about the truth, sales is a very self-centric game, right? Is a winner takes all game. I talk with the seller, I talk with the buyer, I'm going to help them to buy and sell. And when they succeed, who's the winner? My clients are the winner, I'm the winner, right? Real estate has always been a winner takes all game, right? So in sales, and I always say, the friendly shark, right? But you still have to be a shark. At the end of the day, you need to go out there in the field and you need to attack, right? Sales is all about the game. Like, I need to be in front of the competitor. I need to win the game. I need to sprint faster. I need to out-strategize, outwork, outreach, right? That is sales, right? That is a sales mindset. And boom, tomorrow I'm going to ask you to become a leader. And if you go with that same mindset in becoming a leader, then it's still self-centered. And what did I just explain with the great question of Sarah? We cannot be self-centered anymore. Now we're people-centered. Right now, it's about the people around us. We need to take care of them. We need to make sure that they succeed. Not I succeed, they succeed. We need to put them in front of us. We need to take care more of them than we take care of ourselves. So that is a big mindset change. And I really love that you asked that question, AJ, because that's the key struggle that I see salespeople make, that basically that bridge to becoming a team leader, that also means that you have to flip your head the other way around and being less self-centered and becoming more people-centered, right? Salespeople are very much successful because they're very task-driven, right? They're task-driven. They just know how to do the same stuff every single day. That makes them successful. Reach out to their clients, follow up, find new connections, set those appointments, right? And if you do that, the same thing every single day, it's very difficult to not become successful in real estate, right? So that's what I always see in successful people and not successful people. The non-successful people in real estate are just those that are not willing to do the work every single day. But successful people in real estate just do that same thing every single day, so that they come in front of more clients, in front of more people, convert them into sellers and buyers. Boom, you become successful. Now you go into a leadership position and the dynamics change. It's not anymore the same stuff every single day. Because why? Because all of your team members will come with different problems, obstacles, challenges every single day that you as a leader have to deal with. And that will shift everything. And I see a lot of salespeople struggle with that because they were so used to that rhythm and to that routine that they had every single day, right? Were so peaceful. It was so great. It was so great as a salesperson, right? Doing my thing, and I was doing the right thing. And this is, by the way, also a fair warning. In becoming a leader, don't expect that letting people doing what you do will make them also successful, because how you did your thing doesn't mean that other people will do the same thing, right? You have your routine, your way, your personality, your way of talking, your way of, reaching out to people. But everybody needs to bring in their own personality to the game of sales, right? And you need to help them develop that. But you're not there to clone people like yourself, because you're not trying to copy somebody exactly like you. I wish it was possible. Otherwise, I would have done it already 100 times. But again, That's not the thing. You need to respect their personality, like respect their strengths, give them the technicalities, but then the rest is all about focusing on the confidence of your team members and helping them grow and helping them to succeed. And as they walk the journey, you just have to mentor them with the challenges, the obstacles, and the struggles they have. So great question, AJ. It's all about the mindset that from task-driven, you go to people-driven. You go from self-centered to people-centered. That's the bridge between the salesperson and the leader. And always remember this, the best salespeople not necessarily become the best leaders, and the best leaders not necessarily become the best salespeople. So we have time for one more question before we end. Any question that I can answer? Somebody feels like I need one more thing to say, and I'll let you say it. Anybody? Let's do it in the auction style, going once, going twice, going twice again, going twice one more time, one more twice, no more twice. Okay, and sold. Seems I've answered all the questions. Again, do me a favor, reach out to me. I'll give you this book. Trust me, there's a lot of stuff here about sales, leadership, recruitment, all the things that you need to know from 16 years of experience in real estate. I know what you're thinking, Taco, for 16 years in the real estate, you still look quite young. Thank you very much. But that all has to do with, of course, I started this career a long time ago when I was very young, did sales, did everything. And I just want to tell you, guys, you were absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. I wish I could spend more time with you, but if I see you tomorrow at the summit, feel free, 5-second rule, just come walk up to me, shake my hand. I would be super happy to have a conversation with you. So don't be shy. I'm always open to talk, very approachable. And I just want to tell you all, it has been a great pleasure and a privilege to spend an hour with you. And I hope you gained something from this session, and feel free to always reach out to me if you have any further questions. Thank you so much. And I wish you a very productive and high performing day. See you soon.
Thanks so much, Taco. I think we've all benefited from the last hour, especially on our management and leadership journey. And we look forward to hearing more from you tomorrow and seeing you all at Summit.
Thanks, Taco. Great.
Thank
Great
you.
session. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Taco. Brilliant.
Thank you.